Welcome to this week's video. Once again, I'd like to talk about three things that I think investors should have on their minds as they make their investment decisions. Of course, I think any week we can't go much further than use the word vaccine. And this week we will find out just how good the distribution of a vaccine will be in the UK and in the United States. We're also going to focus on stimulus out of Washington. And third, I'd like to talk about what I'm focusing on regarding individual portfolios, my strategy for investors for the week ahead. Vaccine rollout will be crucial for investors this week, as we saw late last week when Pfizer announced that unfortunately they would have about half the doses that they once thought they would have. We saw the markets tail off significantly at the end of the week, at the end of Thursday's trading day. You can just see how important vaccines are to the positive feeling for investors and for this market to move higher. If we see the distribution of this vaccine go smoothly, both in Europe and in the United States, I think this will be even more promising for investors. And I can see investors taking this market significantly higher. Just when you thought we weren't going to get a stimulus out of Washington before Joe Biden's inauguration, we are now hearing about a stimulus package once again. It's quite interesting, actually, that the Democrats have agreed for a smaller package. They were really standing their ground with a $2 trillion package. Republicans wanted something smaller. Here we are after the election. Now Democrats are looking for somewhere just under $1 trillion, 900 billion, in that range. And it'll be very interesting to see how discussions go this week. And once again, if they can come to a deal, I think this could be a big positive for the markets, because markets were definitely not expecting it to happen. So this week, I think investors are going to begin to look at what's going on in their individual portfolios. I think for many individual investors, they've had a pretty good November, actually a fantastic November. I think most investors, I've seen investors making double-digit growth just in the month of November alone. And I think this may prompt a lot of investors to start to look at investments and maybe take a little of their winnings off the table. I know as an investment advisor with some of my clients, I've begun to trim back some of the gains and use that cash to move that money into other areas that perhaps haven't participated as much over the past, 8 or 9 months or so. A third point I think investors will be focused on are their own portfolios, perhaps trimming some of their profits and maybe moving money into other areas.